Good morning.
Good morning, Joelle. How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Whoop,
Thank
whoop,
God it's
whoop.
Friday.
TGI.
TGIF. Yes,
Yes. Shh,
I know. So
uh,
happy.
yeah, I'm happy. It's the weekend. It's a beautiful day. Yesterday I had the
I
afternoon
saw.
off.
I
So
saw your photo.
yeah, I was in shorts and a little tank top, and I was in the
Yeah.
sun just like, yes. So happy. So
Nice. Nice.
I
I
feel
was
like
working in the garden all day yesterday.
fantastic.
Oh, my
Fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thank God
So
we
I was
have a
very happy.
garden. Yeah.
Oh, the next 3 days I'm out there. I'm working, I'm getting it all together. I'm all kinds of stuff. So it's great because I can get out.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
very lucky.
Get your shorts and your little vest top on
Yeah,
so you can get some sun on those legs and sun on
yeah,
those the arms and
absolutely.
yeah. Okay. So,
Absolutely.
um
You
hello
want to
and
introduce
welcome.
yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hello and welcome to Meeting New People. My name is Joelle. I'm from London and I live in Florence and I teach at the Baracca School of Florence. And I'm here today with my coworker Jane.
Hi. Uh, I'm Jane, and I'm originally from the United States, New York State, and I also work at the Baracca School in Florence. And like Joelle, I've lived here for a fair amount of time, a long time, and
Hmm.
that's it. And it's
Yeah.
Friday, and we're going
Yay.
into the weekend. Yay. Joelle, are you preparing anything for Easter? Are you doing kind of a traditional Easter?
I actually am not preparing anything because my mother-in-law has kindly offered to do it all herself. So she is bringing lamb, like lamb shanks or something with lamb. She's going to make a tiramisu.
Oh,
I don't know. I might make some
wow.
vegetables or something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided. And obviously lots of chocolate. And
I bought my chocolate eggs yesterday. I
yeah,
bought my
yeah.
children their eggs. My children,
Hmm.
they're adults, but
Yeah. Well, you got to have chocolate for Easter. And I'm going to
yeah.
organize a little Easter egg hunt in the garden for my kids
Oh,
Sunday.
fantastic! Did you find white eggs or no? Did you color eggs this year or no?
I've got some eggs, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't like wasting eggs because once you've colored them in and you take off the shell, the color always seeps through to the egg. And I don't want to eat the egg after it's got like ink in it. So I feel like I'm just throwing away 6 eggs and I
Okay,
feel it's a
yeah, I
waste.
gotcha. Good. Yeah,
So
excellent.
I've just got the little mini chocolate eggs and I'm going to hide them around the garden and they can go for a hunt.
That's so much fun. We did that as children also. That's a very Anglo-Saxon kind of thing, I think, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm,
They even do
yeah.
like big, mega organized hunts in London
Oh,
parks.
yeah. Oh,
So, yeah, lots
yeah.
of fun for the
In New
kids,
York.
lots of fun.
Yeah.
And you, what are
Yeah.
you doing for Easter?
Uh, I bought a chicken.
So it's
No,
chicken for Easter.
well, because we just decided as a family that since we're not terribly religious,
Hmm.
that we were not going to go the lamb route. So we
Understandable.
decided just to do a roasted chicken with some vegetables and make it a nice meal, but not do lamb just because I
Hmm.
I feel like you
I know,
know.
I know. I
Anyway,
feel really sorry for the
I
lamb as well. I do.
yeah, there you go.
But
Oh,
I
good
mean, I eat
morning,
lamb.
Michele.
Hello, Michele.
Once a
Hi,
year, right?
Michele. No, I eat lamb even during the year, so it's not like it's just for Easter, you know?
Okay.
I
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't eat
yeah.
it. I don't eat it often during the year, but I do eat it also around other times. Chiara, hi Chiara, nice to see you
Hi,
again, and nice to
Clara.
see you,
Oh,
Michele,
the
again.
dog.
It's
I love
nice
the
to see
photo of
some.
that dog. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so cute, so cute. It's nice to see some familiar names. So thank you
Hmm.
for joining us again. Everybody who's watching, please join us. Tell us your names and where you're from, and you can participate in giving your comments or answering any questions that we have during focus. So
Yeah, absolutely.
let's get it started. Jane, can you read?
Sure. Meeting new people. In this focus activity, initiating conversation, talking with new people, asking questions using different verb tenses.
Okay, very good. So we have Antonio here as well with us today.
Yeah, from
Um,
my English school, Pontelungo in Rome. Hello,
okay.
Antonio.
Hi, Antonio. Very good. Remember, myself is together. One word. Let me introduce myself. Okay, and we have Rosalba. Hello, Rosalba.
Rosalba but she lives in Rome. Hey,
Okay,
Rosalba.
very good. All right. Do you also go to the school in Pontelungo? Okay. All right. So
Hmm.
different verb tenses. When we meet new people and we have a conversation, we don't always use present simple, for example. We can also use other tenses. So we will be having a look at all the different ways we can have a conversation when we meet new people. Okay, so meeting new people. Number one, who?
Oh, look at these.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the last new
The last
person
new.
you. Hmm. Okay, so Rosalba is also
Ah.
in Pontelungo.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're going to take a look at the first one, and I think that we're not going to use present for that one. So why don't you students tell us what you think is the fill-in for this sentence? Number one, what tense are we going to use, and what words are we going to use for this first sentence?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll go through the other questions as well. And then maybe if the students want to write the answers, they can in the chat.
Oh,
So number
okay.
two, where you meet them. Okay,
Number
number three.
three, have you them again?
And
Mm.
number four, Jane.
What you talk about?
Okay, so if you have any ideas, please share. Okay, Chiara says, who
Mhm.
was the last person you with? Okay, the first part is
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Who was, very good, with the verb to be in the past tense. Who was the last new person you, so not with, but what are the people in the picture doing? If you look at the
What's the verb
picture, what are
there?
they doing
Mm-hmm.
when you shake hands for the
Yeah.
first time? What is the verb we use? Uh, Actually, Antonio has used it in his question to Rosalba.
Uh-huh.
He's used the correct verb. Have
Antonio,
we
yeah. Trying to
ever,
have we
ever
ever?
met before? So,
Yeah.
there we are. Very good, Antonio.
Everybody got it. Antonio, Rosa.
And Rosalba and Michele. Perfect. Well done. So, who was the last new person you met? Number two,
Mm-hmm.
Antonio. Very good.
Yep. Perfect.
So we have, where did you meet them?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Number three, anybody? Have you them again? So this is another tense. So number one and number two, which tense?
What were
Which
those?
tense were
Number one and
they?
number two.
Because number one and number two are both one tense. Number three is a different tense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any ideas, students?
To see if somebody could get that. Number
Yes,
three.
Rosalba. Very good. Have you met them again? Absolutely. And four?
What's the tense? But we want to know what the tense is for
Yeah,
number
okay.
three.
So if you want, you can write the answers for one, two, three, and four, and then tell us the
Mm-hmm.
tenses.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, Rosalba. What did you talk about? Okay, so tenses, guys. Tenses. Are they present, simple, present continuous,
Sorry,
past
Antonio, I'm on fire. I am on
simple?
the ball. What's my score? Excuse me, Antonio. Sorry, I am on fire. I am on the ball. What's my score? You get a 10 so far, Antonio. But
Yeah,
but the problem, Antonio, is you have not told us the tense. The tenses.
yeah.
Number one
Okay.
and two are what? Number three is what? And number four is what as far as tenses goes? Come on,
Yeah.
Antonio. You're on fire.
You are on fire and you are on the ball. Remember, I, capital I, like you wrote with I am on fire. That's correct. I am on the ball with a small I is incorrect. Okay, so be careful with the subject I is always capital. So, um, I like that he used on the ball. I don't know many students who
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
phrase.
That's
Well
that.
done.
And I'm on fire. Even
Oh,
you hear it, but he's
amazing.
like, okay, yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think our students know the tenses of these questions. So
Mm-mm.
we'll have a look
Tell
at
them.
1, 2, and 4. So we've
Okay,
used did in number 2 and number 4,
right.
and we used was
Uh-huh.
and met in number 1. So
Hmm.
these are past simple forms, okay? The past
Past.
simple tense.
Okay. So
Number
number
3,
three, and I'm going to explain that one a little bit. It starts with you've got the verb have, and then you have the past participle. So we have the verb meet, but the past participle of meet is met. So in this case, we have a present perfect form. Okay?
very
So number three
good.
is the present perfect form, everybody,
Yep.
because you can see have met. Huh? Okay?
Exactly. So the auxiliary in past simple is did, or with the verb to be is just the verb to be. With the past participle, the auxiliary is not did but have. Okay. So we use them for different reasons. Can anybody remember why we use the past simple and why we use the present perfect? Any any ideas? Can anybody remember? Whew, I'm hot now. I think I'm
A
on fire.
very, very difficult question. Yeah, it's a very difficult question. Can somebody just tell me quickly about the past simple? Why we used past simple? Because maybe that's a little bit easier to
Hmm.
tell us about.
Yeah. So past simple is used for anybody, students, for actions that. Let's have a look if anybody knows. So if I say, I met George Clooney last week. I didn't. I'm just
Hmm.
hypothetically.
But wouldn't
Giving
that
you an
be
example.
nice? Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I met George Clooney last week. This is one tense. And if I say, I have met George Clooney,
Hmm. But when, Joelle? You didn't tell me.
yes, I didn't. So
It
I
could be
met
last
George.
year. It could be 3 years ago. I don't know when you met him.
Yeah, so I met
Kind.
him
Hmm.
last week. Very good. So
Ah, simple past. Yeah. Okay.
so we have
So
the
finished
difference.
action with a
Hmm.
time, huh? Yeah. You told
Absolutely.
me when. Ah, okay. So that's okay. So that's a finished action, and you were specific about when. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Simple past.
Okay.
Okay.
And present perfect is just experience in your life. You are telling us about an experience. Chiara!
Mm.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, you get some points
Yay!
there, Chiara. You get some
See,
points.
Antonio, you're dropping the ball. You're
Yeah.
dropping the ball. So you were on the ball, but now you've dropped it.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, so I think he's been watching too many webinars with Oscar where he gives points to everyone.
Yes.
So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So So for actions finished in the past simple. Generic actions that happened in the past, but we do not specify when, not time specific, present perfect. Okay. So who was the last new
Yeah.
person you met, Jane? And students, can you answer the
Okay.
question? Who was the last new person that you guys met? Antonio's back.
Yeah.
He's
Where did
gone.
you go? Excuse me. Where did you go? Um, so, we have to think probably pre quarantine, no,
Quarantine.
Joel? Because
Yeah.
it's hard to. Have you met anybody? I
No.
sure haven't. So,
Um,
who was the last new person you met? Okay, let me think.
okay, no, it's
Um,
not true. It's not true. The last new person I met was a student from Myes online yesterday.
ah,
Yesterday, because I had a lesson with a new student online. So I met him,
oh,
obviously with a camera, but yeah, we
okay,
introduced ourselves and yeah, he was the last new person I met, a student from my English school. Okay.
okay.
Cool.
So, where did you
Antonio.
meet them? Where did you meet them, Joelle?
I met them on right here in my room on the computer.
Ah, so it was a virtual.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. I
okay,
said on the
okay.
computer, on the computer. I met him
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah. Well,
lesson.
I'm asking
Yeah.
you questions here that are
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the list. So, have
Okay.
you met them again?
No, I
Have you
haven't.
met?
I
No,
only
no.
met them the
Okay.
one time yesterday.
Okay. And what did you talk about? What was the subject of this?
We talked about uh, English grammar. So the
Oh, okay.
present simple third person questions.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Antonio
So
wants to know if we know all the teachers. Oh, no, Antonio, we do not. Unfortunately, we do not. From the school, remember, school is spelled School. Unfortunately, we really only know each other. Each school has their whole group of teachers. And even in Florence, there's two schools. And Joelle, we know some of the teachers at the other school, but
yeah,
not really.
not all of
We don't
them.
really kind of mix at all.
I know a few teachers from some other schools that maybe I met in the past while they were training or at a convention, but not all the teachers. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of us. We are a lot of schools and a lot of teachers. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, we don't. Yeah.
So Antonio said the last person he met before the quarantine was my English teacher at my school. Okay, perfect. Great. No other students are responding who the last new people they met were. So, who was the last new person you met, Jane?
Oh, Joelle, I think online. Exactly. I thought, yeah, okay. So I taught some on Wednesday. I did some also some lessons online because I'm not in the school very often.
Yeah. Hmm.
I meet. I met some students that were at the school, and I hadn't met them before, and I had a lesson with them,
There you go.
and it was really nice. It's really nice to meet new
And
students.
have you met them again?
No, just this once. So there was
Okay.
one, yeah, one man who was an IT specialist,
Okay.
uh, and I can't remember his name. And then there was another person too. There was a bunch of people because you
Okay.
see, I work at the companies, so I'm not in the school. I'm at companies, and so Joelle, for example, knows all the students at the school. I only know some because I'm not there all the time. Exactly.
Okay. What did you talk about?
Actually, we did a lot of grammar and we did superlatives. We talked about
Okay.
superlatives. So yeah.
Okay. Great. All right.
Mhm.
Let's move on. Can you read? Oh, I think we've lost Jane a second. So common
Sure.
phrases.
Can you hear me? Be coming in and
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you.
can you hear me? I'm coming in and out today, and I don't know why. What phrases do you use when meeting new people? Hmm. So, what do you think, Joelle? What can we throw out there right now for phrases that we use when we meet new people?
Okay, if students, if you have any idea what phrases we use, please share with us. I think the most common phrase we use is nice to meet you or pleased to
Oh,
meet you.
yeah.
This is the most
What?
common.
So, what's the difference? Nice to meet you or pleased to meet you? Is there
No
any difference?
difference. Not in
Okay.
meaning. Not in meaning.
Mm-hmm.
It's
All right.
just two different ways to say the same thing. Okay. Michele, thank you for sharing. The last person I met before quarantine was my colleagues at the last work day. Okay. So is it one colleague or many colleagues? Okay. So if it's the last person, it would be my colleague. Otherwise, you would say the last people, plural. The last people I met before quarantine were my colleagues at the last work day. Um, without a preposition, were my colleagues the last day at work? Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better.
But but do you mean seeing your colleagues
I'm sorry.
or
I'll put that
meeting for
back.
the first time? Because when we say meet, it means for the first time. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, we only use it for the first time. We don't use it when we see somebody that we haven't seen in a while. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a mistake because in Italian you would use the same verb,
Yeah,
and in
exactly.
English we don't. In English we would say see,
Yeah.
right?
Or we can use the phrasal verb meet up. I met up with my colleagues from work on the last day of work. So we can use the phrasal verb met up. Otherwise, if you just use meet, it means for the first time. Okay, Antonio's asking a
I
question.
think so. Yeah, I like this question. Can we use the verb meet if we don't really up, meet someone in person? So meet someone in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we can. In this case, I think, Joelle and I are using it like because we met people virtually online for the first time. Yeah, I think we can really use it in this case also
Absolutely.
for meeting someone.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Okay. Um, all right. So Rosalba and oh, good. These are some good phrases when you meet someone for the first time. I like Antonio. Nice day, huh? Is that a tap line?
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. Another 10 points for Antonio.
Oh, Antonio, you got 10 points there. I'm sorry. Nice day, isn't it? It's raining. Nice day. Is it your first time? I think that Antonio is a real flirter. I think he's somebody
Yes,
that flirts because
absolutely.
can you see him walking up there and being like, "Hey, is
Hey.
it your first time in this city?"
I can imagine him being like a Joey from Friends. He'd go, how you
Yeah.
doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? That's another common
Nice.
phrase when you meet a new person. How you doing? Okay.
Yeah. Depends
Uh,
on who you're meeting.
all right. So, Rosalba, what's your name? Of course. Where are you from? Absolutely. Where do you live? And what is your job? Absolutely. Great. These
Yeah,
are
great.
perfectly
Perfect.
common phrases that we use. Great. Oh, I needed a good laugh.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, Antonio, nicely done.
Okay. So, Jane, can you read these phrases?
Sure. Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Now, see that, Antonio, that's one for you. I've
Yeah.
heard a lot about you. What brings you here? Where are you from? Have we met before? Hmm.
Hmm. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, This is a nice one as well. Rosalba is asking, did you like the city? Okay, yes. If you're talking about a city that you've visited in the past with this new person, you can absolutely ask this question. Yes, if you're talking about holidays, for example. Yeah. Maybe if you're talking about the place you are in at the moment with a new person, you would probably use present simple and say, do you like the city? Okay.
Yeah. Or
Um,
this city. This city.
yeah. Okay. Uh, oh, what did you like the city for? Maybe I would say,
Mm,
what did you like about the city?
yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
What
So
or what?
about the
But
city.
but that once again, Rosalba, that goes back into past cities, things, a city that you've seen in the past.
Okay.
Okay?
But if you want to talk about the city you are in at the moment with that person, we say we use present simple. What do you like about the city? Okay.
Hmm.
So I've heard a lot about you. When would we use this sentence? When would we use this phrase? In what occasion?
Hmm. Well, it could be done. I think also when you've got more than one person meeting each other and you are introducing, or you are being introduced to somebody by somebody else,
Absolutely.
no? And you
Okay.
have some prior knowledge of them, no?
Yeah, very good. Perfect. So if you're with some friends maybe, and maybe at a party, and these friends introduce you to another mutual, like another friend of theirs, and they've talked about them before, then you would use this. Or maybe even in a company. So we're talking about like business, in a business environment. If you have a colleague that comes from another company or
Yeah,
another city, and your
I
colleague
agree.
has already talked about this person before, then you can say, oh, okay, yeah, Peter, yeah, I've heard a lot about you. And you can use it in
Hmm.
this context. What about the third question? What brings you here? When do we use
Hmm.
this? When would we use this? In which
When we
situation?
don't
In
know,
which?
well, I think it's also about when you don't really know why that person is visiting or is in that place.
Exactly.
You don't know what the
Yeah.
purpose, you want to know the purpose of their trip. Why are
Yep.
they in that place? No?
Yeah. So yeah, for the motive, for the purpose. Again, if we're talking about in a business context, if you find a new person at the coffee machine in your office, and you're like, who is this person and why are they here? You can start up a conversation. Hi, I'm Joelle. What's your name? Okay, so what brings you here? And then they can tell you, oh, okay, I'm here for the sales meeting, or I'm here for I don't know, the new project on blah, 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 blah. Okay. So the reason they are in your
Interesting.
company that day.
Yeah. So we've got some
Okay.
nice questions, and also, yeah, most of them are questions. But the first one, Antonio, where do you call home?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
a
but that you
nice
need a question
question.
mark. That's, it
You
was
need a
so
question
well
mark.
done that I had to look at it twice. I had to look at it twice. I need a question mark here. But
Yeah,
where do you call home? Such a
that's
great way to ask the question, where are you from? I
yeah,
love it, Antonio. Get creative. Fantastic.
absolutely amazing. Well done. Uh,
Amazing.
what part of
What
Rome do
wrong?
you live? And then we need a preposition here. So what part of Rome do you live in? So we need a
Yeah,
preposition in.
yeah.
Okay. Do you like outdoor activity? So we need more than one. Do you like outdoor activities in general? Okay. Ooh, Jane, do you want to read the next?
What kind of business are you in? With the preposition at the end. Wow. Okay. So Well, happy
Okay, he
Friday,
is
Antonio.
he
Yeah,
is
I'm
soaring
tired.
with the scores.
Okay, so he picked Joel. He picked the ball up again, and he's
Yeah,
running with it.
yeah. Are you
Sorry.
familiar with this area? Wow, absolutely amazing, Antonio. You are on fire, absolutely. Okay.
But these are like questions that mother tongues ask each other. This is
Yes,
really you have now elevated this conversation from being to almost a mother tongue type of dialogue. Questions that Joelle and I would ask during meeting someone for the first time.
exactly. Okay.
Don't you think, Joelle?
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you 100%. Yeah. How long have you been here? Yeah, absolutely. In the city.
Are you
Are
on
you on
holiday?
holiday? Did you come here to travel around? Nice. The weather's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah. All right.
Love
So
it.
yeah. Okay.
Can you
Love
see
it.
the
Love it.
heart
Love it.
here,
Love it. Love it.
Antonio? Oop, this
Yes.
side. Love
I
it.
love. Hey, what's underneath that? I love what? What's underneath that, Joelle? I love SD. What's
Yeah.
SD? San Diego.
Yes. Well done.
I got it on the first try, Joelle. See,
Well
I could
done.
have said
Because
South.
you're,
Listen, I could have said South Dakota, but I didn't. That.
yes. Who loves South Dakota? Come on. So, yeah,
I'm
San
sorry. That's
Diego
fantastic.
in my
San
heart.
Diego.
I
Love.
love it.
I do love. I love San Diego. La Jolla.
Oh, La
Okay.
Jolla. Oh my God. But no, even
La
just
Jolla.
Coronado Island in San Diego. Like, take me there and leave me
Gorgeous.
there, please.
Yeah.
Abandon
Oh,
me there.
San Diego. Abandoned.
Just okay. So, great. Perfect. Well done. Good questions. Let's move on. What to talk about? So, students, what do we talk about when we meet new people? So, we have three common areas that we talk about. Can anybody think of them? The immediate things that come to mind when you meet a new person. What information do you want to know about them? So, I'll give you a few seconds to write
And
your
actually, you know what I'm going
answers.
to do? I'm going to ask you, Joel. Let's think of things that we don't talk about because there's a couple of
Oh,
things you really have to avoid. And there's three or four that really you should just avoid in first conversations with people when you first meet people.
absolutely.
There, you know,
We have some absolute no-nos that we can't talk about. So taboo, let's say. Okay, Antonio, he says, not gonna lie, I use an app for chatting with all people in the world. Okay. I like the not gonna lie. Well done.
yeah.
For chatting
Not
with
gonna
people,
lie.
with chatting with people all around the world, I would say.
Yeah.
People all around the
Uh-huh.
world.
Yeah. Or all over the world. You could use one or the other.
Yeah.
Uh, Hobby.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, we've got Michele that said, well, of his hobby, how about hobbies?
Just
Hobbies
hobbies.
in general,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Good. So
absolutely.
weather, jobs, family, hobbies. Good. Great. One more. Oh, sorry. Family, job. And I think one more important one would be where you're from, I suppose. Like hometown and where you're
Home,
from.
hometown, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I think number one, Joel, and I'm gonna really is weather. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
always talk about the weather.
All the time.
It's like it's ridiculous. I mean, I
It
mean, even
is.
this morning, before we even started this lesson, and I was like, "Hey, good morning." Hey, you're like, "Hey, good morning." And I'm like, "Hey, the weather."
Yeah.
It's the only thing that we
The
said. He
first
said,
thing
and we
that we
talked
talk
about,
about.
and we talked about it for at least 5 minutes. I saw you were outside yesterday. Yeah, I was outside. The weather was, but like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It is. It is actually quite ridiculous how much we are interested in the weather. So, Okay, so back to Jane's question about what we shouldn't talk about. So, what are the taboo areas or no-nos that we shouldn't talk about? Okay, so we can say no, no,
No, are
a
you writing
no-no.
that?
Okay, just so you guys know that it means
This
something
is
that you shouldn't do. It's a
that is
no-no. Okay.
hysterical. You wrote that. I love it. I love it, Joelle.
So I
There's
think,
two big ones, yeah, that I can think. Two that are just you need to
yeah,
stay away from those two.
yeah. So I think an absolute no-no is politics.
Yep,
So there we are.
yep. And
Ooh,
I
Antonio,
think,
love it.
oh, and religion. Yep, yep, yep. Those are the
Yeah.
two. Those are the big. Oh, salary. Yes, and money. We don't.
Yes, we shouldn't
Yes.
possibly talk about salary, politics, or religion. We could be bored and unpolite. Yes, very
No,
good. But the
no.
word, not unpolite, what do we use as the prefix of polite? It's not un, but it's
Im,
impolite.
but we could be boring, maybe. We
Yeah,
could be
maybe
boring.
boring.
But I don't know if boring
This
is
is
the
the
right
correct word.
word.
There we are.
Rude.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very
I
good.
think rude's
Impolite.
even better because impolite, downright rude is,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's you're really treading on very,
pertinent. You're being
mm,
very impertinent. Sorry, impertinent.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
And I
funny enough,
think,
but Americans talk a lot more about money
yeah, yeah.
than
But British
Europeans.
people
Europeans,
don't.
it's not.
British people
Yeah,
don't. Yeah.
the Americans tend to, and I find it very, now living in Italy all these years, I find it incredible. I'm always like, oh
Yeah.
boy, don't want to do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Good. Um, oh, good one, Antonio. I like this too. Sorry, let me just put it up there. Okay, my computer is
Why aren't
very
you
slow.
married?
It's just not. Oh, there we are.
I don't know. Excuse me, but this is, I, I really
Absolutely.
just, why aren't you married?
Why don't you have children? Absolutely. You can't ask that to someone.
You
So
cannot
great.
ask that question.
Or maybe even, how old are you to a lady?
Well, yeah, you might. Okay, so there's many women who don't care. I don't care if you
Yeah,
ask me how old I am.
I
But
don't care. I don't care.
some people really find it offensive. So yeah, you might
Yes.
not want to ask how old are you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or maybe even ask about sexual orientation. You don't want to talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, in the
yeah.
first conversation.
I
Okay.
mean,
So,
Joel, I wouldn't even ask. I wouldn't even ask like what Antonio said. Are you married? I think that you're pushing in someone's personal. If they want to offer that information, that's great. But if I first meet somebody, I wouldn't just go ahead and I don't
well,
know.
I might ask, are you married? I don't think there's anything wrong in asking if somebody's married because you're just talking about
Yeah, I
family
suppose
in
you're right.
general.
You know what?
But I
I suppose
wouldn't
you're right. I
ask
suppose you're right.
if you say no, I'm not, then I wouldn't push it. I wouldn't push the subject and say, "Well, why aren't you married?"
Okay,
Because
all right. You're right.
that's
I
getting
think you're right about that.
too
That's
personal.
getting personal. But are you married is a legitimate.
It's legitimate. It's legitimate. It's
It's a legit.
just
Are you married? Not why aren't you married? That's a different
exactly.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree.
Okay, so we've established things that we can talk about when we meet a new person and good questions to ask. So here we have some questions on family and relationships, and here job or even what you study, because not everybody has a job, and city, home. Okay, so
Mm.
students, oops, sorry. Can you
Okay.
please maybe fill in the gaps in these questions? So what would be the complete question from the questions on the right? So please write them in the chat. Remember, it takes about 20 or 30 seconds for us to see your answers. Okay, so we'll give you a few seconds to start
Do that.
writing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you married. You have any brothers or sisters? You have a boyfriend, girlfriend? You have any children? And no, sorry, who you live with? Jane, can you read the job and study questions?
What you do? You enjoy your job? When you start working there?
Okay, great. And
City and
city,
home,
home.
Joelle.
Where you live, where you born, and you like living there. Okay, so I think most of these questions are in the present form because we're talking about general information, general facts. So when we're talking about facts, we usually use the present simple. A couple of these are not in the present, so be careful of which tense you're using. So great. Antonio and Rosalba, are you married? Great. Yeah, we've got the correct
Yeah.
question here from Rosalba.
And then Antonio also for the second one was
Nice.
great. And Rosalba, yes, nice.
Do you have any
Huh?
brothers and sisters? Not are you have any, Chiara, because we have the verb have. So if you
Yeah.
have, you cannot have also the verb to be, right? So it's do. We need the auxiliary do. Antonio, do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? Antonio, you were
I'm
right.
ready
I
to
think he is a total
No,
flirt.
I can't. I told you he's a total flirt. I
Okay.
said this guy's a flirt.
No, I don't. I'm
I'm
single and
single and
ready
I'm
to
ready to
mingle.
mingle.
Okay, mingle away, mingle away.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
under quarantine, mingle away. Shh,
Yeah.
don't ask me. Do you have any children? Shh, don't ask me.
Okay. We won't. We won't.
I promise we won't, Antonio. Oh Lord,
Okay. Do you have a
I hope
girlfriend,
he's in our
boyfriend?
next group.
Yes, please. Please join us again in another webinar.
Please join us. We have another hour, so you need to join us because it's hysterical. Okay.
Do you have any children? Who do you
Who
live
do
with?
you live with?
Fantastic.
Okay. Okay.
Very good.
And then job study. What do you do?
Having
Yes,
children
Rosalba.
is not a problem anyway. Even if you're ready to mingle and meet new people, having children doesn't stop any, doesn't, that's not like a something that will stop anything new happening, if you know what I mean, right?
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Do I look dead? No. I have children and I'm ready to mingle.
Me too.
I'm
All right. Who
All
do you live?
right.
What do you do? Fantastic, Rosalba. This is the typical question we ask when we want to know what job someone has. So
Yeah.
we can say, "What's your job?" That's fine. But the more common question that we use is, "What do you do?" Okay.
Yeah.
So this just means in life, what do you do? Okay. Let's have some other answers come through. Oh, so when you start working there, we want to change the tense here. Do you enjoy your job? Fantastic, Rosalba. Well done.
But who do you live with? None of your business. Antonio, who do
I
you
want
live
to,
with?
Antonio, I want to meet you. I want you to come to my English school in
Yeah, you
Florence
have to.
when the quarantine is over, and we have to have a lesson together because
No, but he's an. But look at this.
you
He's
are
an engineer.
hilarious.
He's an engineer. Oh my gosh, an
Wow.
engineer. I know. Crazy.
Good for you. Good for you.
Crazy.
Okay. So what do you do? Do you enjoy it? When did you start working there? Correct, Rosalba. Very good. So we need the past tense here. Yeah. Um, okay. So, what do you do, Jane?
I'm a teacher.
Oh, and do you enjoy your job?
I love my job. I'm sorry, I do. I have to be honest with you. Like, I love my job. It's incredible. And I didn't
Okay.
listen, Joelle. There was years that I didn't enjoy my job,
Oh,
and now I. It's just a recent thing that I've fallen back in love with teaching.
okay. Great.
Mm,
Correct, Rosalba? Okay. And when did you start working at your current job, Jane?
well, it's about a year at my English school. It's only a year, but I've been
Hmm.
teaching for 22 years.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But
So,
this is a good fit for me. Yeah.
mhm. So Rosalba, here you want to change the auxiliary. So it's not did because born is not a verb. So we don't use the quasi form.
Mm-hmm.
We need to use the verb to be. So it's the same as Italian. You also use the verb to be, but in Italian you use the present simple, whereas we use the past. So we say, where were you born? Where were you
Yeah.
born? Okay. And do you like living there? Fantastic. Great, guys. Okay,
I
Antonio, I
love this.
think
Another one.
you
Yeah,
are the
he's taken
same.
over, but it's just. But this is great. I'm overworked and underpaid. I love it. I feel you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
This
not
is
was,
Joel.
but we
This is a.
need, yeah, were. Fantastic. Great.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and here we have some phrases that we can use to respond, okay, while we're having the conversation. So, Jane, what do you do? I'll repeat the question. What do you do, Jane?
What do I?
What do you do?
Sorry, Joel.
What's your
I'm a
job?
teacher. I'm a
No
teacher.
way. No way. Me
No,
too.
yes way, yes way. Joel, what do you do? Joel, what do you do?
I'm an English teacher.
And what's your job?
I teach English.
There you go.
Right, very good. So here we have, for example, no way. Me too. Me neither. I can't believe it. Really? So for Antonio, for example, he says, I'm
Oh,
an engineer. I can't believe it. Really? So these are
no
some phrases we
way.
use to interact. Okay. Um, Antonio, not when do you start working there, but we want the past tense. When did you start working there? Okay.
And I forgot
And
that he wrote that too. When did you start working there? Yeah.
final thing, just for some other different subjects we can talk about when we meet new people. So those, the ones we've just talked about, are the most common. But once we've gone over family or relationships, jobs, and city, like where you're from, we can also talk about films, music, travel,
Oh,
and
yeah.
news. Okay, so these are typical um, subjects that we talk about. Okay, so final question. Do you want to ask me a question, Jane? One of these for some small talk?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you, where did you go on your last vacation?
Where did I go my last vacation? I went to Liguria. I went to my hometown in Liguria and I spent 2 weeks by the sea and yeah, in Liguria. That's it.
Ah, okay.
And
Wow.
I'll
No
ask
way.
you,
Can't believe.
yeah,
Really? Really?
yes way, yes way. And question for you. What
Mm-hmm.
was the last film you watched?
Oh, Joel. The last film I watched was Tuesday night, the last Harry Potter film.
Oh, Me too.
Yeah, but I fell
Me
asleep.
too. I love it. I love Harry Potter. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you so
We've had
much.
so much fun, especially with you,
This has been
Antonio.
great. Yeah, and thank you so
Oh,
much. It's just such a pleasure, to have such a fun class. We love it. We love
okay.
it.
And
Joel and
thank
I just
you,
go crazy.
Antonio. He says thanks to us, but thank you. It was very
Yeah.
nice staying with you or having the
Mm.
lesson with you. Thank God it's Friday. I hope to see you soon in the next webinar. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend. Oh,
Bye.
I love
Thank you.
Antonio. I love
Yeah.
Antonio.
Hearts out to you.
Okay.
You too,
Great,
Rosalba and
Rosalba.
Clara. Thank you all for coming and have
Great
a great
question,
weekend.
Rosalba. Well done. Bye.
Bye.